Well, Sahil, one piece would like to appreciate that you belong to a place, where you don't have even a post office and you have reached this level. It's marvelous. Your intro was up to the mark.
Check me, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Hi. Take your seat.
Sir.
What's your name?
So my name is Sahil Mandla.
Okay. Sahil, tell us something about your educational background and your family background.
Yes, sir. So I'm from Chamba district of Himachal Pradesh. My family lives there since always. And I have my father, my mother, and my younger brother in my family. So I did my schooling from local school, government senior secondary school, Delhi. And thereafter I did my graduation in BSc from government PG college, Dharamshala. So thereafter I pursued my master's in physics from Punjab University, Chandigarh, sir.
So you have completed your master?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why do you want to become an administrative officer?
Sir, civil services are prestigious services, sir, which provide an opportunity to work in different sectors. And through civil services, sir, I think I can make a meaningful impact on lives of people, sir.
Okay. Who is your role model in the family and why?
So I think I've learned different things from my father and my mother. So I think they have a huge impact on me personally. Apart from them, so I also consider my grandfather as my role model.
Okay. In your hobbies, you have mentioned playing badminton and fitness. So fitness, is it a hobby or is it requirement of the body, to remain fit, to remain healthy? What do you think? Is it a hobby? You are taking it as a hobby?
So it is definitely a requirement. And therefore, so I try to inculcate some fitness routines in my daily life, sir. So I consider it a hobby also because I'm also interested in it, sir.
The hobbies, it's just a pastime, Okay. It's different from, the main thing. What are the main things, which you do to keep yourself fit?
So I do some basic body weight exercises and I do some breathing exercises, sir.
Okay. What is the role of yoga as far as this fitness is concerned?
So I think yoga has a very important role to play in the physical as well as the mental well-being of a human being. So recently, 21st June has been announced as the International Yoga Day, and it recognizes the importance of yoga and what yoga can bring in terms of health and well-being. Sir.
Since you are a fitness freak, tell me something about different exercises of yoga, if you are aware of.
So in yoga, sir, I usually do some breathing exercises. Sir.
Okay.
Apart from that, sir, I do normally other body weight exercises. Sir.
What are those exercises, the breathing exercises? Can you name them?
Yes, sir. So I do Anulom Vilom and I do Kapalbharati, sir.
Okay. What's the meaning of the word yoga? What does it signify?
So, sorry, sir, I'm not able to.
Okay. If you are made Prime Minister of a country for one day, what changes would you like to make?
So I don't think a lot can be done in one day because, sir, governing a country is a very important and very complicated process, sir. But if still I become Prime Minister for one day, I'd like to work to eradicate corruption, sir, and so I would like to bring more efficient people in governance, sir.
How will you eradicate corruption in one day? Will you take some stringent measures, that can have a long-lasting effect?
If possible, sir, it is a difficult exercise, first of all, sir, but if possible, I would like to digitize all the bureaucratic processes to bring in transparency, sir.
What do you think? Otherwise, it's not there. Transparency and digital technology, it's not there.
So it is being utilized more and more nowadays, but still, sir, I was reading recently that many of the ministries and even PMO itself has not implemented the e-filing completely yet. It can be done, sir, I think.
Okay.
Apart from some security and some defense-related issues which require.
Okay. What is judicial activism?
I've said in judicial activism, the judiciary tries to get involved or try to participate in the process of lawmaking through some cases, and so it tries to have a outreach in the executive and the legislative processes.
No, in a democracy, these are the three pillars, executive is there and judiciary is there. So can judiciary take the power of executive also?
So sometimes the power of the Honorable Supreme Court and the High Courts, so they put the Constitution provides judicial Supreme Court a power of absolute justice, sir. So they can have some executive orders also. Sir.
Can you mention any example of judicial activism?
So may I take a moment? So many environmental related cases in national green tribunal related cases, and even when the air quality in Delhi was very bad, sir, the Supreme Court did give some directions to the public authorities, sir.
But what is the role of NGT?
The role of NGT is to resolve cases related to environment and regarding forest and environment pollution related cases.
Does it have judicial powers also?
Yes, it does have judicial powers.
Can NGT punish a person for the sins which he have committed?
Yes, I think.
Any example?
So I don't recall the example.
Couple of years back, Art of Living founder Shri Ravi Shankar, he had a massive congregation on the banks of the river Jamuna. And NGT fined ₹5 crore. Still, I don't think Art of Living Institution has paid that. So where does that power lie?
Sir, I'm not exactly sure about this case. Not aware of it. I think so. But sir, they might have filed a case in High Court or Supreme Court, which the NGT cannot override. So I think.
Tell me something about cultural diversity of India.
So India has been called as a melting pot of civilization, sir. There are almost all major religions of the world that exist in India. Apart from that, sir, there are many languages in India, sir. Almost all the states have different state languages apart from the Hindi belt, sir. So apart from that, even racially, if race is considered a measure of diversity, sir, then our population is racially diverse also, sir.
About the festivals, the classical dance and classical music of different states, where does it stand?
So over the last thousands of years, different areas, different regions have developed their own art forms. For example, Kathak in Uttar Pradesh, Kuchipudi in the South, and Bharatanatyam in Tamil Nadu. So there's a great diversity of dances and various musics.
Do you think that in some states of our country, the communal harmony between two communities is being disturbed?
Yes, sir. When different communities coexist together, so sometimes there are communal violence. So that do exist in a country.
Is it good for the society?
No, sir, it is not good for the society, and I think there should be efforts to eliminate those who are at least spreading things.
Okay, if you are selected and there is some communal clash in your area, in your locality, how will you control that?
First, if it's happening right now, for example, then first of all I'll have to do the damage control, sir, using the police service of the area, sir. And if then the time permits, I would like to understand why these communal cases erupt in the region, sir. So I would like to work on that, and would like to talk to different factions about their grievances. That's how I would like to do.
What will be the role of the police as far as the communal tension is concerned?
So
will it charge the people, or give some solace, some warm to the people, who are already suffering.
So if there's violence going on between communities, then the role of police becomes very important. They might have to use the force, but apart from that, since it's subtle or more like nari, so I think police can have a proactive role.
Do you think using force at this point of time, when already there is a volatile situation, will it help the situation, diffuse the situation, or it will aggravate the situation?
So I think when there's already violence going on, the fear of police might help in reducing the violence, but it would depend upon the situation, how far it has gone, and what are the violent means they're using. If there are firearms, or if there's stone pelting or something like that. So it would depend upon that particular situation.
Well, you might have heard and you might have read in the newspaper that when criminals are being taken to the court, sometimes they are killed in police encounters. What is your take on that? Whether it's right for the civilian society or...
So I think the judiciary should do its work according to the Constitution of India, sir. But sometimes the victims of the encounters, so they do try to escape from police. So in that case, encounters can be justified, but in general, sir, encounters should not be the norm, sir.
Do you think getting justice in a time frame is possible as far as the present judicial system is concerned? I mean, it takes 40 years to get justice. Sometimes the person on whom the crime has been perpetrated, he's no more. And what is the fun of that justice, which person is getting after 40 years? In that case, I think killing the person, that will give some solace. What do you think?
No, sir, I don't agree with that argument, sir. Although, sir, there are a lot of burden on the judiciary, so more than 5 crore cases are pending in Indian judiciary. And as they say, justice delayed is justice denied. But still, sir, I think we should focus more on making judiciary more efficient, more resilient, and so I think there are a lot of vacancies. Vacancies in the judicial system, in lower courts. I think we can, but I think we should not. I think process is more important than the result. Sir.
It is said that there are vacancies in the lower courts also, but judges, they are having a very lesser time as far as the filing of cases is concerned. Every day there are a lot of, postponing the things, yes.
So that is true to some extent, but there are a lot of pre-independence laws, and there are many laws which criminalize petty offences. So government is trying to decriminalize those so that the burden on judiciary can be reduced.
In your opinion, changing the British laws and giving it a new name, will it serve the purpose? Will it serve the purpose of the society? Will the society get justice on time?
So I think merely changing the names might not be able to provide justice to the people, but sir, it is a symbolic process, and I think it has its importance as for the decolonization of a country's concerned, sir.
Okay, what is extradition and deportation?
So extradition means when two countries have extradition treaty, so it means that if an offense is committed in one country and that person flees away to the other country, then that country returns the person to the country where the offense was committed. So,
I think you have the example of Mandla and Neerav Modi.
yes.
With those countries, India is having the treaty, but still those criminals, those convicts are not being extradited. What's the reason behind it?
So I'm not exactly sure, but I think the local laws of the country, for example, UK, forbids that.
Yes.
You have done your schooling in the local school since childhood, and you've done your boards from Himachal Board of School Education, and now your MSc from Punjab University in physics. So, if you think in education sector, what is the reforms? One can give a little some tips for the kind of education you are having, the emphasis, what is the emphasis as of now in the schools? And what should be the education policy also keeps changing from time to time. Now we have a new educational policy. Are you aware about the new educational policy?
Yes, sir.
Which has now been, so it keeps changing, sometimes one policy followed by another, followed by another. So as of now, what do you think is what is missing in school education?
So, if I'm able to understand,
Because there are a lot many issues, if I put it like this, because government schools are not attracting, good STEM, and people are moving to private schools. Huh? And in private schools, there are a lot of other issues also. No? So to make these schools, government schools, and more, friendly with the parents and the populace of that area, and inspire more confidence in them. What do you think should be what is missing? I mean, I would begin in our present setup of schools.
is missing in the school education systems.
Yeah.
So, I think from the policy point of view, so the government has tried to implement some of the Shiksha Abhiyan and the new education policy, but its execution has not been very good. So, I think in school education, thousands of vacancies are there in government schools. That's why people refrain to send their children to the government schools. So, apart from that, sir, the accountability of government teachers is not up to the mark. So that's what I feel.
Why accountability is not to the?
I think so.
There are conduct rules, there are procedures, there is instructions, internal circulars are there. There's so many things. So those things should take care, but still you say they are not accountable. Why? What is the reason?
So studying in a government school myself, so there are very highly motivated people also, teachers also in schools, but majority of the teachers do not pay much attention to the overall well-being or does not put that much effort into teaching students. I think first reason for that is the normal job security of government employees in general and teachers in particular in this case. So I think the reason for that is that there is no performance-based evaluation of teachers. So I think those who put more efforts, for example, in private sectors, they get more salary, they get more offers from different schools. But
No, I don't agree there, because the government schools, they have their salaries are very high compared to the private schools.
Definitely, sir. Their salaries are good, sir. But in promotions, there's no. I personally feel that if there's promotions and other things based on their performance, which can be evaluated objectively, sir, I think that would help, sir.
And what about the curriculum of the students? Because you also must be feeling, what is missing, because some people, you studied in the government schools or in the private schools?
I studied in the government school, sir.
You studied in the government school. So you must always be thinking why people are going to the private schools, and why people are not coming to government schools. So there's a thinking process, that goes on. I mean, even now you must be, when you go in retrospect, you think, okay, what is missing in the schooling, the government schools particularly?
So the main reason I found when I used to study in a government school, there were a lot of vacancies in that particular school. So in cities where government schools exist, I think that there are not much vacancies. But in rural schools, there are a lot of vacancies.
No, that is one part. You already said that.
Yes, sir.
You said that. But what are other issues?
Others, sir, there's also problem with the infrastructure, sir. Many of the now it's improving, sir, but initially,
The olden days, people would sit under the trees and study.
yes, sir.
There were Shanti Niketans, other schools, Gurukuls were there. There was no infrastructure at all.
But sir, in private schools, when they charge hefty fees, sir, so they provide opportunity. They provide good infrastructure in schools, sir, so the people who can send well of people, so they send their children to private schools, sir.
No. What I'm saying, what I trying to know was, okay, what is the issue? Are there the issues on the curriculum? Because I don't see there is much issue on infrastructure and other things. Because teacher is one, of course, you said that, but other issues could be curriculum related, or it is the methodology of teaching, or the environment teachers provide in those schools, and maybe what that environment is missing in private schools.
So, for example, in HP board schools, both private and government schools have the same curriculum. So, I don't think there's a problem in curriculum as far as the interest of students in private schools is concerned, sir. So, apart from that, teachers do put, even on low salaries, teachers do put extra efforts in private schools. There are extra classes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You said before that their salaries are very high.
Yes.
The salaries are not high.
No, sir, I think not.
But still they do better. The performance is still better because the outcome of those schools compared to the private schools, I mean, maybe the percentage wise, the scoring may be even. But as a person, they turn out to be, they do much better in life compared to those who come from government schools. Do you agree with that?
So, the people who come from private schools, they do much more better.
They're doing better. I mean, I don't know whether their take is better or.
So, about that, I would say, so the socioeconomic background of people going into private schools, it is already better. So, I think they have better resources, they have better guidance. So, I think that matters in life in general, sir.
Okay. In Himachal, you have some idea what is the percentage of literacy percentage?
So, it is around 83%, sir.
What is a literate? Who is a literate according to, I mean, in the educational policy, why would you say he is a literate? Whom we consider a person to be a literate person?
So, if an individual can read, write, and understand one particular language, so that person is considered a literate, sir.
There used to be a concept of adult education some point of time.
Yes, sir.
So there used to be adult schools, and there were other schools where the elderly people also would go and then study. So once they attend that adult school, they were also declared educated. Maybe they were not efficient in reading a book, or maybe they would converse, of course, all right. I mean, then they were also treated as educated.
So there are definitely those cases. Those cases do exist, sir. But I've seen in my own village, sir, many elderly people who were illiterate initially when they went for some classes in the local school, and they also used to ask even me for some help while reading Hindi. So, sir, many of those people are now reading newspapers, sir. Not as efficiently as one would like, but sir, they are reading and they're improving, sir. But so the cases you mentioned, they also exist, sir.
Okay. How many schools are there in Himachal? Do you have some idea about the statistics? How many primary schools you have? Or the colleges, maybe, let's say?
Sir, I don't know the exact number, but if I can take a guess, I think there are 140 colleges in Himachal Pradesh, government colleges in Himachal Pradesh, sir.
140 colleges. And schools? Primary schools, if I have to say?
Right now, I'm not able to recall.
Okay. And the colleges and schools, at college level also, what do you find the difference between a government college and a private college?
Sir, since I studied in a government college and it was good, so my experience was good in that regard, sir. The teachers in my college were very highly educated. They were professionals, sir, and even the infrastructure was good. So even in private colleges in Himachal Pradesh, sir, the quality varies from college to college, sir. But sir, if we take overall perspective, sir, in higher education, the government institutions tend to do better than the private ones.
And now Which is the hobbies which are your hobbies you mentioned? Playing badminton. Okay. And what other hobbies? You read books? No.
It's fitness.
Fitness. You go to gym and other things?
So there's no gym in my village, so
Okay. So how do you do the fitness exercise? You said you do yoga or something?
I
No.
do breathing exercise and I do body weight exercise. I also go for runs, sir.
Oh, okay. And you think the dietary control and other things are important in life? I mean, compared to doing physical exercises?
So I think both are important, sir. But if your dietary control is
No, let us put it like this. Let's say metaphysics, no? Like your body physics or relating to the food eating and how would it be, how important it would be for being fit? I mean,
so diet is the most important part of being fit.
so how do you say that? I mean, why?
There are scientific researches. If we consider two different people, one both doing the same amount of exercise, but one eating healthy and one not eating healthy, so the difference is.
What is eating healthy?
So eating healthy means eating less processed food, eating a healthy meal with all major macronutrients present. And
Why processed food is not healthy?
so processed food is rich in carbohydrates and fats, but it lacks basic fibers and proteins. And there are a lot of added sugars, preservatives, so those are not good for health.
But olden days people would only take bread. And in Europe also they would sometimes take bread and soup and that would be end of it. So there was no concept of taking healthy food, non-healthy food.
So even in Europe, sir, the bread they use is minimally processed, sir. But even now, so they are moving towards more homemade breads like sourdough bread, sir. So even in developed countries, this concept is gaining.
Okay. I will just like to ask you, what is the percentage of water in a carrot?
Water in a
Carrot. Let's say the carrot, yeah. How much water?
So,
you have some idea?
So,
No.
I do not know exactly, sir, but most of the vegetables contain more than 70% water.
Water. And what is the water requirement of your body?
So on daily basis, sir.
Yeah, what is, I mean, generally.
Sir, doctors prefer 3 to 5 liters of water daily, sir.
That is the water intake you're in. And what is the body composition? How much water is there in your body?
70 to 80% of body's water.
70 to 80%.
Yes.
Okay, even if you don't do exercises and do body, I mean, you have a control over food and eating habits, like what you eat and what you don't eat. Even then you can remain fit.
So I think even from the point of view of human evolution, sir, our bipedal posture, our erect posture, so we are meant to keep moving, sir. Various studies have shown those people who are physically active, they tend to have less neurodegenerative diseases, sir. Mm-hmm. So I think balanced diet is definitely important, sir, but it cannot replace the exercise bit.
But you also mentioned posture.
Posture.
You think posturing is also important?
Posturing is definitely important.
Why? How is
because bad posture can impact, for example, bad posture of your back can impact your spinal cord, and it can have long-term impact on back pain and neck pain, etc.
If we talk about the Parliament, what is the Joint Consultative JPC? What is the JPC? You have some idea about it?
Joint Parliamentary Committees are committees which are formed to discuss various important issues in a multi-partisan way, so that a consensus can be built over issues. Sir.
Okay. What is the finance bill?
So finance bill is a bill introduced by usually the ruling party or a minister, which aims to either increase or decrease taxes or their.
Where is the finance bill presented?
It's presented. It can be presented in both houses of the parliament.
What is the mandatory condition for passing that bill?
So firstly, it should have prior consent of the President of India. And then, so,
Not in any way. I mean, all bills have the consent of the president.
so
No bill can be passed without it has been consented.
ordinary things are first they are passed in the Parliament, then the President's consent is required for money bills and finance bills. Prior consent of President is required, sir. Then, sir, in finance bill, it should be passed by a simple majority in both houses of the Parliament.
There's so much of talk going on about the constitutional reforms. You know,
Yes, sir.
somebody put it like this, somebody say that there's a constitutional reform. Others say that no, the constitution is being subjugated. It is being subverted. So there are various theories. What do you think is the right course for the government right now to proceed with this kind of criticism?
Sir, right now the issue of one nation, one election is in news, sir, and the argument of the government is that frequent elections impact the development process of the country, and it is a huge.
But it's nowhere in the world, I guess. This only in 3-4 countries. That too, like Belgium and all those small countries where the population is 2 lakhs by 10 lakhs, but we are in hundreds of crores.
So that is the argument from the government, sir. But sir, I personally feel that.
Would it be feasible in our country with our kind of a polity and our kind of a system?
Sir, before 1967, the simultaneous elections used to happen, and they happen quite.
So that was in the normal course, but
sir, if there are president's rules, president's rule in the states, so in those situations, it becomes difficult to manage these things, sir. Apart from that, sir, the argument of government is have a weight, sir. But the concerns of the opposition are also valid, sir. Because it might impact the local issues of states, sir, which might impact the federal structure of Indian politics.
okay.
You are from Chamba. Can you name some folklore of Chamba, which is very famous?
Yes, ma'am. Kunju Chanchlo and the Rajgardan. These are the famous folklores of Chamba.
And some historical?
These are the historical ones that I.
These are not historical. About which they depict the historical events of the Chamba district
Folklores.
in the folklore.
Sorry, sir. Ma'am, I'm not able to recall.
Now, what are the 3 pillars of democracy?
Legislative, executive, and judicial.
And what is the 4th pillar known as?
Media is known as fourth pillar of democracy.
And what is the role of media in a democracy?
Free and fair media is important to make the other 3 organs transparent and accountable.
But do you personally feel that it is doing its duty in the present scenario?
Ma'am, recently there have been allegations by opposition that media is not performing its role.
No, what do you feel?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's see.
Ma'am, I feel there are different types of media. For example, now social media has come where people are doing their job seriously, and many of the people in traditional media feel like they are biased, but there are many independent journalists who are performing their duties.
And what do you understand by women emancipation?
Women emancipation. I think I've not heard of it. I'll read on that.
We always talk, we celebrate Women's Day. We say women should be given rights and this thing. They should be made independent.
So if it resembles with the women empowerment.
Empowerment.
Yeah.
Yes. Women empowerment.
Administration is women empowerment.
I did not wanted to take it in the wrong direction. That's
Okay.
women empowerment means enabling women to take their own decisions and empowering them educationally and so that they can they can be independent financially.
Don't you feel they are empowered? And who will make them empowered?
Ma'am, historically, our society has been patriarchal, ma'am. So women were not allowed to study for a long time in our country, ma'am. So there is a historical bias towards women. So if if government policies and society enables them or let them have good education and good career, that I think is women empowerment.
No, now, if I interrupt, even in panchayats now there is a reservation. 33% of pradhans are now ladies. There is an effort that in assemblies also they will do some reservation. But rather than the ladies doing their job, the pradhans are holding the fort. So how do you see that?
So this practice of Pradhan Pati is prevalent in many parts.
Pradhan Pati, yeah, that's the right word you said.
In many parts of the country. But sir, there are instances where women have shown leadership and they have transformed the panchayats where they have been elected. So there are positives in that story, and I think the leadership role of women, so they motivate other women to also join the development process.
But if you are posted at SDM somewhere, and in one of the villages there is a Pradhan Pati, how you will deal with it?
Ma'am, I think I would encourage the Pradhan, the official Pradhan of the Panchayat to fulfill her duty and try to eliminate this practice as far as possible.
But how you will eliminate? You have to take certain steps.
Yes, ma'am.
What steps can you?
I will personally look if all the meetings are attended by the Pradhan herself, and I would stay in constant touch with the Pradhan who is concerned with, and if he is not well educated or if she is not well trained in administration, I will try to help her in fulfilling her duty.
You are still single. If you want a professional wife or a housemaker,
I have not really thought into that, but it would depend upon the circumstances.
Tell us something about Chamba.
So Chamba is a traditional art which was patronized by the rulers of Chamba. So it is done on a square or rectangular muslin cloth using unwoven threads. It is also called needle art because of its precision, sir. And sir, it has been given GI tag. Yes, sir, has been provided GI tag, sir.
Another product in Himachal Pradesh which are being provided with GI tag.
So there is Kangra paintings, then there is chuli oil, there's Kala Jeera from the house within Kinnaur. So these are the ones.
Okay. All these products are provided with GI tag. But at national level and international, in the market session, these products are not as famous as other products like Banarasi Sari, Tirupati Laddu. Why it is?
So I think it has to do with the cultural attraction of the places. For example, Varanasi has been a cultural capital of India for a long time, sir. So that's why Banarasi Sari is famous, sir. So, but government after giving the GI tags, these products have definitely been popularized more than before.
But what government is doing to popularize these products? There is a vendor carnival.
Yes,
Is there any provision to showcase these products?
So these
and try to sell and give this.
So these products are usually showcased at the nearby airports to promote them for their better marketing, sir. even on official websites of government, so these products are available. And various exhibitions are launched to market these products.
Okay. How can government improve its revenue resources?
In Himachal Pradesh.
Yeah, in Himachal Pradesh.
So the government has tried to take certain steps. For example, using ecotourism and agro-tourism, it aims to attract more tourists into the country. So the government can focus on MSME sector and attract investments in industries to generate more jobs and more revenue. So apart from that, sir, different organic farming is one area where government can organic farming and natural farming. So these products are in demand recently, sir.
Okay, your district Chamba is least development in all the area which you have mentioned. So how can we, what we need to do in Chamba so that employment generation revenue resources can be opened up there?
So Chamba has a huge untapped tourism potential, sir. Many of the, apart from Dalhousie and Khajiar, many tourist sites are not that popular. So we can market different places in Chamba. So Chalo Chamba campaign has been launched by in the Chamba administration to attract more tourists. So apart from that, there's a huge untapped hydroelectric potential. So we can create more small hydroelectric plants, less than 20 megawatt, which can be environmentally sustainable and which can generate more revenue. So apart from that, sir, organic farming and natural farming can also promote it.
As far as farming is concerned, so do you have any idea about Shiva project?
Shiva project, yes, sir. So it is a project by the Department of Horticulture for promoting value addition in the horticulture produce and diversified from the apple, which is the
Basically, there outside organization or department who is supporting this project.
So I think Asian Development Bank is supporting the Shiva project in
For how many years?
so that I'm not able to recall.
Okay. So why do we need to have money linkage system in India?
So because various river basins of India, they have different potential, and for example, recently the Ken Betwa river project was announced.
But people are protesting against this project. Why?
So because there are environmental concerns, to connect the project will pass through the Pandan Tiger Reserve. There are concerns about that, and then the land of people who reside in those areas. So they are also concerned about that.
So what is your take? Is it good stuff or no?
So I think these are mega projects like these are important for the development of a country, but the environmental concern should also be taken care, and the rehabilitation of the people whose the project should also be priority for the government, sir.
Okay, my last question is the conflict between Israel and Palestine.
Yes.
Why Iran has entered into this war?
Sir, in the whole Middle East region, there are three organizations which are largely supported by Iran and which are called the Axis of Resistance. These are, sir, Hamas, Hezbollah, and Houthis, sir. So they are provided with military assistance and financial assistance by Iran, sir.
Why Iran is supporting them?
Sir, Iran feels that to stay relevant and to maintain its strategic interests in the region, it cannot get involved directly in conflict with Israel, sir. So it is using these proxy forces to fulfill its strategic objectives, sir.
Thank you.
Good.